So one of the biggest mistakes people make is not pruning when you need to prune. So at first, when you're regenerating, you just want a canopy. You just really want a canopy. I really want a canopy of trees to protect my little saplings. But at this point, this sapling, this is a chicle tree, is now having trouble finding the light because its parent, the banana, is overshadowing it. So at some point you got to come in and you got to know when you have excess vegetation and when to start taking it down. And it's not a bad position to be in. It's like having too much money because you can always give some away. Hey everybody, welcome back to Sueño de Vida in Ecuador. So today I'm going to tell you guys about when you're moving past the pioneer phase, finally, of your regeneration system and moving into what's called the accumulation phase or the target species phase. So here I've got my camera trained on a true cinnamon tree. This is a beautiful tree. This is actually from India. It's not native to Ecuador, but it acclimatizes really well to this climate. And from this tree, you harvest the bark of the cinnamon. This is a wonderful cultivar that we want to have. Of course, we want to have cinnamon. And what my assistants are doing here, Havana and Holland, hi. So what they are pruning some of the vegetation that is now just growing rampantly around this cinnamon tree, because one of the hardest things, believe it or not, when you're doing a regeneration, especially when you're starting on a pasture. So now we have lovely ground cover. We don't have much grass growing, but this used to just be all grass. It was just a cattle pasture, just solid grass. And when your pioneer plants start growing, like these big spindly, bushy trees, these are pioneers, native pioneers, that come in and colonize the grass once you get the cows off the land, you're so happy to see anything growing, and you're so happy to have any shade, and you're so happy to have any biomass, you don't want to cut anything down. But there comes a time when, as you can see with this cinnamon tree, where it's even starting to lean a little bit over here to the right. So we need to now, we're at that phase where we need to start pruning back our pioneer vegetation and using it. It's extremely useful by putting the woody material on the grounds and putting the leaf matter on the grounds. The woody material is going to encourage fungi. It's going to encourage fungal growth at the base of the tree, good fungi. And the leaf matter is going to be digested by soil microbes, mostly by bacteria and then by insects. So it'll be improving soil structure. It will be creating air spaces for air in the soil. It's providing food for microbes and insects. It's doing a great service. And that's really the key. That's the key to all of this, is understanding that your pioneers, whether they're native or if they're pioneers that you've planted, like yucca and bananas and plantains, that at some point they've done their service and they gotta go, right? And you don't have to cut down the whole thing, and don't worry about it because they're gonna resprout. As long as you don't rip it out of the ground, it's gonna resprout. This whole thing that these girls are taking down, it's gonna resprout. And then you have more green fertilizer, you have more biomass, you have more shade. So it's always more. A system that's in regeneration is always producing more. It's never isolated and it's never less. It's always more. Okay, so that's the great thing to realize, is that you can take things down and the net effect of that is actually more and not less. So if you guys like this, you find these videos and checking out our food forest here beneficial to your knowledge and gives you some hope about climate crisis and positive change, check us out. Our website, www.sdvforest.com. Exclusive content on our Patreon page and lots more videos here on YouTube.